What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of TRICKEDTINS. Today we're going to be working on this little tracker topper 1542. It's pretty cool. This is the first time that we've had one of these on the channel. This is the welded John boat. It's basically just like the old toppers, except they call them grizzlies now, and they're welded. Now they're still pretty thin. They're set up pretty much the same exact way that the old toppers were that were riveted, except these are welded. I've had mixed reviews on these. Now a lot of people have been complaining about cracked welds. The number one issue I've heard with these boats, I think Tracker kind of jumped the gun with this. I think they should have stepped up the whole thickness for sure. There's obviously going to be some things that they're probably going to change on these because lots of people have been complaining about cracked welds, but we'll see. Now this guy just picked this one up. This is a 2026 model. Never seen one that had the paint job like this, the camo, and I've never seen a 1542. It's actually a pretty decent sized boat. I'm gonna turn the camera around. We'll show you guys this rig and tell you what I'm gonna do to it. I just wanted to give you all a little review and walkthrough of one of these new boats just so you can see what they look like firsthand. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, so today's video is sponsored by GOOLOO. They were nice enough to send us this nice jump pack, and man, I tell you what, it came right on time because my battery in my truck died on me, and I just so happen to have this thing in there, and I've already used it, so let me tell you, it works. It is very small, compact. It does have some ports on the top, a USB and a USB-C for charging your phone or whatever. And it also has a light on the front too. And that could definitely come in handy because it might be dark outside. Now, this thing is pretty small. It's not super lightweight. It definitely feels like it's a tool, not a piece of junk. And it's pretty simple the way this works. You just plug this into the side. You see how it's got a port in there. It's very similar to a lot of these jump packs. And then you just hook these right up to your battery and you're ready to go. Now the cool thing about these that I like, look at these clamps. These things are legit. Lots of power, beefy, heavy duty. A lot of these jump boxes I've seen have like little baby gator clamps on them and they're just not gonna last. This thing is legit. It also even comes with some charging port cords in here. This one's pretty cool. It's like a cigarette lighter. You hook up something with that type of hookup, or it's got USB-C to USB, and it also has a USB-C to C charger in here. So definitely something that you've got to have in the truck, in the boat. You never know when your battery is going to go out. It just happened to me. This thing saved my life. I'll leave a link in the description of this video so you guys can go pick one of these up. It's not a bad idea to have one of these in every single vehicle or boat that you own. Might save your tail. Let's get back into the video. All right, guys, so check it out. It's got a cool camo paint job on it. These new tracker models, they went with these bright orange decals. I mean, I think they're kind of cool. This is basically the new topper, but it's just called a Tracker 15. Some of them actually say Grizzly on them, but this one doesn't. But this thing is super lightweight, guys. Look at this. It weighs nothing. The entire hull dry weight is 190 pounds. It is 15 foot long, and it's 42 inches at the floor. So I mean, I might actually be all right in this. I've went in a 1542 well built before, and I was pretty comfortable in that. It's a little shaky, but I mean, there's a big difference between a 48 and a 42, obviously, as far as stability goes, but there's also a big difference between a 36 and a 42 as far as stability goes. So this guy has already done a little bit of modifications to this. Now, the way he did this is pretty cool because he just put this little track system in here. And he was showing me when he was here, he has all his stuff set up in here. His nav lights, all his cup holders types deals. He's got rod holders, fish finders, everything attaches into this VersaTrack system. He even has a bimini top that goes in here. So it's pretty neat. He also had put some rib nuts down here into the floor. And he's got like a plastic board, starboard or whatever. He packs foam up underneath here, and he's got a starboard that goes in here and also up in this front area to give him some type of floor in there. Now, this bench right here, he's altered. The way this comes stock is it has the hatch in here, and it also has a box attached to it. It's a live well, and it's got a fitting that goes through the bottom right here. Now, it's kind of stupid because the box that was in here is kind of small, it's gravity fed, and he didn't want to have the live well because, I mean, this is a really small boat. He just wanted the space. So we are going to weld up that hole down there for him so he can use this for space. And he said that the lid, the live well box, were actually welded together. So I'm assuming he's just going to cut the box off it and put the lid back in here and use it like that. But that's the way that this model comes stock is with the live well in there. So I guess in reality, you could probably put an access plate in the face or some type of another hatch on the side where you could put like an electrical panel switch, and that would give you access to run your pumps and stuff in there. And it would be pretty easy to do that if you wanted to leave that live well in the boat, but he said it was kind of small. So, I mean, you got to imagine if this is the whole size you got right here, then that has to be able to come out of there. And, well, it's not very big. I can almost reach my hand across the whole thing, so it can't be a very big live well in there. The back bench, I do like this. I like the way they got this set up. It's different. It's not just a straight bench. It gives you a little bit more room for a deck, and it's nice and smooth. I mean, every inch of this is like one piece up here, so that's pretty cool. It would be very easy for a hatch to go right here and just finish this whole back deck off. I told him we should do that, but you could literally just drop a hatch in there and it's done. So I'm not 100% sure on the internals in these compartments right here. Now he said in that front one, there was foam from the top down about 6 inches. The bottom half of it was completely open. And I think that's how these are right here too, because I stuck my finger up underneath there and you cannot feel any foam inside of there. He said he did have a little camera went up in there, and the whole bottom of this wraparound compartment back here, the foam stops, you know, about 6 inches short of the bottom, which isn't a bad thing because that allows for water. You don't have to worry about the, you know, water getting into that foam. So, I mean, they are learning a little bit. So as far as the welds on this, the welds look pretty good. I mean, with the camo pattern, it hides a lot of imperfections, but I mean, these welds are actually really good looking. Most of the ones I've seen online of people sharing pictures of them cracking, majority of them are up here. They're around this bench. These welds right here. Now, the ones that I've seen online, majority of those were the 1236s, not the 14 or the 1542s. So I don't know. This one might be a little different. I do like the way that these floor pieces are in here. These ribs are pretty nice looking. I mean, they're welded solid across here. And the fact that they didn't bring this all the way up, I really like, because that allows you to come in here and build from the bench to the back deck, and you don't have to worry about that rib sticking up too high. So I do like that. Now, he did shove this piece of PVC board in there just to keep stuff from falling down inside of there and the dirt out of there. I think it's a good idea. But these floor ribs, they are pretty solid looking. I mean, they're not very tall, only about 1/2 inch tall, but really, that's probably all you need. And the welds on them look good, so I don't know. They have different floor ribs in the smaller versions of this boat. They're definitely not the same as these, but we'll see. He just got this thing, so he hasn't had it too long. Obviously, it's a 26 model, so he couldn't have had it with, you know, a couple months or something, but he's had it out a couple times. He has a Mercury 20 horsepower outboard on it, and he said it runs probably close to like 30 miles an hour. So he's getting like high 20s with it. So I would imagine that this thing would easily do 30 miles an hour. I mean, 190-pound boat, this thing should scoot. He does have some issues with weight distribution because the hull is so light. I mean, the motor, it's damn near weighs as much as the whole boat does. So, you know, it definitely plays into the layout of how you got to have this thing for weight distribution. So that's another thing he's trying to do is put his battery in here, because he's got a regular lead cell battery and it's pretty heavy. That will help him. I told him he should get a trolling motor, because not only will he like having a trolling motor, but it will put some weight all the way up on the nose, and that will really help out big time too. But he's going to play around with weight distribution. Now, the whole shape is basically the same as the riveted ones. I don't really like, you know, the square nose boats too much, but this one is actually, they corrected some things with these models. You can see they have a real hook up here, the eyelet. It's not just a handle. They do have handles on the sides over here. And these handles, they still have these tiny little bolts holding them in with like rib nuts in them. But you can see here, they did reinforce the back of that eyelet. Now, this is just deceiving because that's just where it was not painted. Now, when he got this boat, he said that this nut right here was on, but this piece right here was actually sitting over here. It wasn't on that nut. So quality control kind of sucks. They just said, went ahead and painted this thing. So he took the nut off and moved it back over where it needed to be and put it on. So he's left with that little exposed area right there. But he does have wires and stuff ran in here. You can see coming up in the corner. And he told me that the way he fished all these wires through here was basically with a string. And he took a piece of metal and he took a magnet on the outside of it and drag it around the boat. And he went through all these compartments to run all of his wiring. I think that's pretty cool that he was actually able to do that. It can definitely come in handy if you're trying to get some wires fished. Use a magnet and use your little piece of steel, like a bolt or something on the other side. But all in all, I think that this whole front area right here will be very, very easy to deck. You could come with a step down here and literally just bring this straight back, flush it all the way out. You could really finish this thing off if you wanted to build one of these into like a little bass boat style. I think it would be pretty simple. And you'd have a lot of storage in there. It'd be kind of shallow up in this front area, but it'd be deep enough for you to put a recessed foot pedal tray in, and you'd have some storage in here too. So, I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it. I don't know the price point on this. I did not ask him, but it is a 1542. He said that the camo paint job costs like an extra $500 if you want to get the camo paint job. For $500, I would probably go ahead and get the paint job. I mean, you're not going to be able to paint this thing like this for $500 and make it look this good. So just go ahead and get it if you want it. The tracker stock green, basically the same color as the transom, and this wraparound area in here. And it's not too flattering. So the camo paint job definitely is a plus. The trailer that it came with, that's a different story. It's really small for this boat, and he bought this from Bass Pro Shop. Go figure. It is a nice looking trailer, but it could use about an extra 2 feet coming back and an extra 2 feet of tongue because it's small. The bunks sit well back up underneath of here, and they're already hanging off of the trailer about a good 8 inches. So, yeah. But all in all, the hull looks pretty good to me. I mean, 190 pounds kind of scares me because, you know, a 20 horsepower motor is going to give you a lot of torque. And I could definitely see this thing riding high and wanting to bounce and porpoise because there's just no weight to it, period. I mean, only good thing about it being lightweight is that if you wanted to drag it around and put it in the water without a trailer, it'd be pretty simple to do. I do like this on the trailer though. It is a little funky the way that the crank is all the way down here. It tapers up because when he took this off, the boat jumped up in the air about 1.5 inches. So like with this thing, you can't adjust this up anymore. I do like these that they're, you know, carpeted up here. That's a lot better than just having a roller in the center. I think that will hold it better. But it would be a whole lot nicer if this was actually bent at an angle, contoured to the front of this. That way it would sit and have more surface area on it, and instead of wanting to pull it downward, it would just pull it into it and seat it in there. We might come up with a way to reconfigure this strap though. I don't know. I was talking to him about it, and it really needs to come up higher and go into it to pull it forward instead of pulling it down, because it does pull it down a lot. But all in all, it's a pretty nice boat. I mean, I guarantee you the price point on this is dramatically cheaper than a 1448 Grizzly or even a 1648 Grizzly hull alone. So you're probably looking about half the price of one of the Tracker Grizzly models. But same sense, you now have an old school style flat bottom john boat completely welded. I'm kind of interested to see how long this thing holds up and if he has any issues with it. So that will be told by time, but I'm going to keep in contact with him, and if he's got an issue with a crack or something, well, I'll be the first guy to know because I'll be the guy repairing it. So I just wanted to show it to you guys. I thought it was pretty cool. I am going to be putting some pods on here from Beavertail. He wants to put those up there, so I'm going to get those ready to go, clean those up and install those and do a how-to video on that. But this video was basically just to showcase the boat, show you guys what these new Tracker Topper 1542s look like and what to expect out of one. All right, so there it is, Tracker Topper 1542. Pretty cool little boat, super lightweight. I mean, this thing weighs a lot less than I do. I've got about 30, 40 pounds on this thing, which is crazy to think that that's the weight of the boat that you're going to take out in the water. But I mean, to each his own. This could be a cool project if someone wanted to, take this thing in remote places where you still have a pretty good amount of area. I mean, it is a pretty big boat considering that it's so lightweight. So I will give it that. The welds on it look good. That's also a plus. I just don't know how well it's going to hold up. Seen too many pictures online and unhappy customers with these first generations of this boat. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I hope that you guys don't have any issues with your boat, but if you do, if you have one of these rigs and it's been good to you, leave a comment. If you had issues with it, leave a comment. I want to know. I want to see the honest reviews from people that actually bought them and what's going on with them. I do appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, guys. Leave a comment. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get back to work.